Are you ready for a war?
Mel Gibson is a brilliant Hollywood actor, screenwriter, director, and producer. The blue-eyed genius heartbreaker won 2 Oscars and the Golden Globe Award as Best Director. He is the father of many children, a philanthropist, and a millionaire. But at the same time, Mr. Gibson is known for his wild debauchery and many scandals. He was also a favorite actor of the late North Korean leader Kim Jong-il. How Mel Gibson lives and what happened to him. Mel Gerard Gibson was born on January 3, 1956 in suburban New York. He was the 6th child in his Irish Catholic family. The boy was named after Saint Mel and Saint Columcille, who is venerated as one of the 12 disciples in Ireland. His parents, Patricia and Hatton Gibson, were ordinary, deeply religious people. They saw the meaning of life in their children, thus the family turned out to be quite large. They had 11 children in total. It seems that the great future of Mel was genetically determined because his paternal grandmother was an Australian opera star and his grandfather was a millionaire. He owned a successful tobacco business in the American South. The second ingredient in the formula of success was his parents' boundless love and care. They did everything they could to support the children. However, the family couldn't be called well off. The father was a conductor on the New York Central Railroad, where he sustained occupational injury. Having a high IQ and iron will, Hutton sued his former employer and got a substantial compensation of $145,000. Moreover, his sharp mind allowed him to win $21,000 in an international game show, and this money was very useful when the USA was about to enter a large-scale war conflict in Vietnam. The head of the family didn't want to risk the lives of their children, who would be eligible to be drafted for service to fight in a war, and he decided to move his family to Australia. Mel successfully graduated high school and got a parallel religious education, dreaming to become a journalist. But his sister helped him a lot to choose his future vocation. She knew that her brother was very artistic and liked to prank people, so she applied to Sydney National Institute of Dramatic Art on his behalf. Gibson himself was not very eager to go there. The day before the audition, he got very drunk and had a fight, and because of that, he didn't look very well. Fortunately, the commission liked this rough look, and he started his studies, living with his friends in Sydney. Among these friends was future Oscar winner Geoffrey Rush. While still a student, Mel appeared in his first movie, Summer City. This way, he earned only $400. Right after graduation, he started to receive offers for roles in movies, as well as an invitation to join the National Theatre Company. His first steps in this field brought him success. Almost simultaneously, 2 movies hit the theaters: critically acclaimed movie Tim and a cult dystopian movie Mad Max, directed by George Miller.
It'll take you 10 minutes to hack through it with this. Now, if you're lucky, you can hack through your ankle in 5 minutes. Go.
The Grim Road movie brought fame to the aspiring actor, and he earned 15,000 Australian dollars for that role, and eventually, Mad Max turned out to be the most successful Australian movie, grossing over $100 million worldwide. At first, the young actor didn't expect to get the lead role because he showed up to the audition after another fight. His face was swollen because of the bruises and abrasions. That's why he was advised to come back a few weeks later to try to get a role as one of the bandits. After getting himself together, Mel came back to the audition, and they offered him to try out the role of Max. No one realized that this handsome young man was there before, hungover and beaten. Fate gave Mel one gift after another, and this time he got lucky in his personal life. He met a charming dentist's assistant, Robin Moore. The couple met in Adelaide. The actor came there touring with the theater, but there's also an alternative version, according to which they met with the help of a dating agency. Perhaps he had to use the services of the professional matchmakers because as a young man, Gibson suffered from an inferiority complex. He had a lot of fleeting relationships, he fought a lot, he drank a lot, and he got in all kinds of trouble. After another fight, Mel was on the verge of death, and that was the reason for him to turn his life around. In 1980, Mel and Robin got married. The marriage was very solid. It lasted for almost 30 years. They had 7 children, 5 sons, and 2 daughters. Getting a reliable refuge in his wife, Gibson proceeded to conquer the screens. In 1981, he starred in Miller's Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior.
2 days ago, I saw a vehicle that had hauled that tanker. You want to get out of here? You talk to me.
The movie was received well by the audience and praised by the critics. It was mentioned as one of the best movies of that year. Mel earned $120,000 for the shooting. At the same time, he appeared in several successful movies. A war drama Gallipoli about the hardships of the First World War, for which Gibson earned 35,000 Australian dollars, and Attack Force Z, an action film about the Second World War, which brought the actor 1,000 Australian dollars. And a romantic drama film called The Year of Living Dangerously, in which he starred with Sigourney Weaver. In the next couple of years, Gibson rocked Hollywood like a hurricane. He starred in one top-notch film after another. In 1984, an adventure drama, The Bounty, came out. Then the actor starred in the drama film called The River, which he got nominated for several Oscars, and a drama film called Mrs. Soffel. The popularity of the actor brought him a $1 million contract with a Japanese brewery called Asahi. According to the contract, the actor was obligated to regularly appear in public with a beer can. Gibson was thoroughly fulfilling the obligation, drinking around 8 cans of beer a day in a row, and when advised to replace beer with tea or water, he refused. Probably that contract backfired at Gibson because during this time he lost his driver's license for 3 months and got a $400 fine for drunk driving. In 1985, the third Mad Max movie was released. This was the last time Gibson played that role. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome was spectacular and action-packed, and Mel got 1.2 million Australian dollars for the role.
1 hour.
If you find him, what then?
I'll ask him to return what's mine.
Oh, and of course he'll be desperate to clear his conscience.
He will be.
You that good?
Mm-hmm.
He finally established his presence on the Hollywood Olympus by playing the lead role in the cult classic action movie Lethal Weapon in 1987.
$100,000. $100,000. Did you hear what he said?
100,000? I'm sorry, I can't afford that. Not on my salary.
The movie brought its creators a bunch of awards, including an Academy Award nomination for Best Sound Mixing. Martin Riggs, masterfully created by Mel, is one of the best cinema characters according to Empire magazine. They filmed an alternative beginning depicting the main character as a less likable person, as well as the ending. They weren't included in the DVD release. The success of the first film prompted the producers to make a sequel, and between the 2 parts of the franchise, Gibson starred in a crime film, Tequila Sunrise. After the end of the filming of Lethal Weapon 2 in 1989, it became clear that it's not commercially reasonable to kill this character, and the original script was rewritten to allow another sequel to be made. There are 4 movies in the franchise in total.
And Riggs, one more thing.
What?
You know what that says?
Yeah. Same thing as that, but I don't give a...
Mel had to refuse the role of Batman to be able to star in the sequel. However, the magnificent performance in the first film gave Gibson the opportunity to fulfill the dream of any actor to play Hamlet in the film adaptation of Shakespeare's tragedy. The scene of Riggs' suicide attempt left director Franco Zeffirelli speechless, and he wanted only Mel to play the lead role. None of the major film companies wanted to fund the adaptation, so Gibson had to create his own company to begin the filming. This is how Icon Production was created. It introduced more than 20 movies. As a logo, Mel Gibson used a fragment of the Virgin of Vladimir icon. This made Mel Gibson very busy in the 90s. He starred in Bird on a Wire, Forever Young, and the action movie Air America. He got paid $7 million for the latter. In 1992, the fans saw the next movie about Martin Riggs. The third Lethal Weapon was a massive box office success and made Gibson richer by $10 million. Then, the American Western comedy Maverick thundered at the box offices, and Mel received even more money for it, $15 million.
I might have said a gut was cheap, but never a coward.
Cheap!
Never call a man a coward. I was teasing. Teasing!
Oh. I don't like being teased.
Besides, the ambitious Australian man tried his hand at directing. He filmed his first movie and played the lead role in it, The Man Without a Face. Despite the hopes, was not successful, which can't be said about Gibson's next movie. The epic historical war drama about Scotland's struggle for freedom, Braveheart, blew up the screen.
You tell your king that William Wallace will not be ruled, and nor will any Scot while I live.
The proof of the appreciation were 10 Oscar nominations. The movie won 5 of them, including one to Mel Gibson himself for Best Director. He also won a Golden Globe for Best Director. The story of the film creation is full of fun facts. For example, Mel's character is only 20 years old according to the script, and the actor himself was 38 at the time of the filming. Initially, the movie was supposed to be much more gruesome, but they cut out controversial scenes from the film to lower the age rating. The animal rights activists had some issues with the movie because they didn't believe that no horses was harmed during the filming. Gibson managed to get out of the scandal. He proved that some horses were mechanical. In 2000, in a special auction, the sword that was used by Gibson during the filming was sold for $170,000. In 1995, Mel tried his hand at animation. He took part in voice acting in 2 projects, Casper and Pocahontas. Right after that, Gibson starred in 2 thriller movies for which he got $20 million, Ransom and Conspiracy Theory. In 1998, Lethal Weapon 4 was released. Mel broke his personal record again and got $25 million for the role. Moreover, he signed a profitable advertising contract with a Japanese company, Subaru, and appears in the commercial driving a right-hand drive Legacy sedan through Stockholm and New York. By the way, Mel himself chose another Japanese car. He's driving a modest sedan Toyota Cressida. At the turn of the century, the fans saw Mel in another action movie called Payback and in The $1 Million Hotel. He also voiced a character in Chicken Run. The historical drama, The Patriot, was praised by the audience, for which Gibson got $25 million.
I understood you to be a patriot.
If you mean by patriot, am I angry about taxation without representation? Well, yes, I am.
It's peculiar that Mel asked to make several changes to the script. They added another child to the 6 children the character had because at that moment, Mel himself had 7 children. The movie, What Women Want, holds a special place in Mel's career.
Do you ever consider dating a woman who wears real underwear? You know, the kind that covers the entire bottom the way it's supposed to.
No, but if I ever do, should I give you a call?
A hoax and prank enthusiast, he brilliantly played the role of a charming ladies' man who gained the ability to hear women's thoughts after being electrocuted. The comedy film was a smashing hit, getting over $374 million in the worldwide box office. It was ranked 4th among the most successful movies of 2000. At the same time, Mel got into a huge-scale pharmaceutical war waged by the United States Department of Health and Human Services. It was trying to restrict the consumption of vitamins by the Americans. As a protest, Gibson appeared in a video in which his home is raided by a SWAT team. The actor, wearing a bathrobe and holding a vitamin C container, says to the SWAT team, "It's just vitamins." Since the early aughts, Gibson has not been that active as an actor. He appeared in such films as Signs and We Were Soldiers, which brought him $50 million in total, a musical crime comedy, The Singing Detective, and the TV series Complete Savages. Mel spent more and more energy and resources on his own projects, mostly as a director. His 2004 epic biblical drama film, The Passion of the Christ, was a really huge event. The movie shocked the public, depicting the last 12 hours of the life of Jesus Christ. The dialogues in this movie were written in reconstructed Aramaic, ancient Hebrew, and Latin. Gibson, after the release of the movie, proclaimed that the Holy Spirit was the real creator of the film and he was just a vehicle. He even donated $100 million to the Catholic Church. The filming process was very difficult. The lead actor was constantly injured, including a lightning strike. To make it more authentic, they decided to avoid using CGI. The job was done exclusively by makeup artists who spent 10 hours on it. Moreover, the actor who played Jesus received real lashes and carried a real wooden cross weighing 154 pounds. Thanks to this selfless and rigorous approach, the movie turned out to be grand. The whole society was shocked, including Pope John Paul II, who praised the movie, and Gibson's daughter Hannah was so impressed that she even expressed a desire to take the veil and become a nun. The phenomenal box office receipts of the movie was no surprise. It earned $609 million worldwide. Because of that, it is still in the top 10 of the highest grossing R-rated movies. After the filming, Mel decided to buy the lush green Mago Island in Fiji archipelago measuring 8 square miles for $15 million. He said he plans on preserving the island's original condition for recreation, and he remains true to his words. The satellite images show only dirt airstrip, Mel Gibson's mansion in the northern part of the island, and houses of locals who are paid by the actor. The next large-scale project of the Icon Company was the mystical movie Apocalypto, based on the historical myths and legends of the Maya tribe. Gibson was the producer, the director, and the screenwriter of the movie. Same as in the previous movie, Mel tried to make it as authentic as possible and didn't trust CGI to do the job. It was filmed mostly in the Mexican state of Veracruz, and they reconstructed step pyramids very close to the original. In the movie, Mayans are depicted as very cruel people, which was criticized by many historians, and representatives of one of the ethnic communities filed a report to the Human Rights Commission of the Yucatan state. At the same time, there was a huge scandal when Mel was arrested for drunk driving again. This time, the movie star acted really inappropriately, shouting anti-Semitic slogans and racial slurs. This stunt almost ruined Gibson's reputation, but he got away with it. He publicly apologized, speaking about lapses in judgment he's having from time to time. After this incident, Gibson retreated into the shadows for 10 years and didn't film any movies. Craving for solitude, in 2007, Mel bought a mansion with a plot of land of 400 acres on the Costa Rica coast. He's been thinking about buying a piece of this picturesque land when he was searching for a location for the Apocalypto shooting. He bought it for $26 million. This ranch consists of a villa surrounded by tropical forest and a cute backyard. The home features several classic colonial-style bedrooms, wood-dominated dining rooms, and an on-site pool. Later, Mel tried to sell the house for $35 million. After all, Mel Gibson is not just a great actor, but a good businessman as well. He knows how to sell. In 2007, he sold another mansion in the Tudor style in Connecticut for $40 million, which he bought in 1994 for $9 million. This 15-bedroom castle-like mansion is surrounded by a stunningly beautiful garden, and the interiors of the living room with fireplace, library, and dining room are strikingly rich and charmingly old-fashioned. This break from the film industry and property purchase can be explained by the problems in his personal life. In the spring of 2009, there were rumors that Mel's solid family split up. Allegedly, the spouses had not been living together for 3 years. Soon, Gibson showed up to the premiere of X-Men Origins Wolverine with a Russian pianist and singer Oksana Grigorieva. She met Gibson during the filming of one of the movies, and pretty soon, the smitten actor became the producer of her album. There is a theory that the meeting was not an accident, but was organized by a known in certain circles matchmaker, Peter Listerman. However, this information is not confirmed at all. After the joint appearance in the news about Oksana being 4 months pregnant, Robin filed for divorce and got half of the net worth of the adulterer, $850 million. Besides that, Mel has to pay half of his income to his ex-wife, and later she got 2 Malibu mansions worth a total of $22.5 million. Actually, the breakup fee of the Gibsons is considered to be one of the largest in the history of Hollywood. In October 2009, Mel and Oksana had a daughter, who became the 8th child of the actor. The new family with newborn Lucienne lived in a $11.5 million mansion situated in Malibu. Mel bought the house from his friend, David Duchovny, but the family life didn't work out, and after 18 months, the couple split up, and a few months later, Grigorieva filed a police report stating that she was physically abused by Gibson. They have opened a criminal case against Mel, and he received 3 years suspended sentence, a $400 fine, and a restraining order prohibiting him from seeing their mutual daughter. Also, the court ordered him to pay his common-law spouse a $750,000 compensation and pay $40,000 each month until the child reaches the age of 18. Also, Oksana got a mansion in Sherman Oaks, which Gibson bought in 2009 for $2.4 million. The court ordered Mel to pay maintenance costs as well, but the woman wanted more, so she posted on social media a recorded phone call between her and Mel, during which he used racial slurs. This almost cost the actor his career and reputation. Many people turned against him, but not Jodie Foster, Robert Downey Jr., Robert Rodriguez, and Sylvester Stallone. They helped out the actor. Thanks to Rodriguez and Stallone, he managed to appear in such movies as Machete Kills, where he played a villain for the first time, and The Expendables 3.
He thinks I'm joking. I'm not joking. You should see me when I'm angry. You'd be very impressed. Then very dead.
As a result of the loud scandal, the filming of the action movie Get the Gringo was delayed, and the premiere of the eccentric drama The Beaver was cancelled. It was planned to premiere in December 2010, considering the Oscar nominations, but it was released only in May 2011. The premiere was a flop. The movie failed at the box office. To top it all off, in 2010, the actor got into a car accident. He crashed his Maserati car against a rock cliff on one of the Malibu roads. Fortunately, Gibson was not harmed, which can't be said about the car. It had to be towed. It was completely totaled. After this point, the actor decided to drive a convenient electric smart car. He's been driving it for many years already. Mel tried to forget about the previous relationship, and in 2012, it was reported that he's dating athlete Ashley Cusato, but it didn't last very long. The next period of Mel's life can be considered a reset. He was completely inactive both in professional and personal life. Only in 2016, Gibson renewed his activity. He appeared in the action film Bloodfather and then directed Hacksaw Ridge, which brought him an Oscar nomination as Best Actor. Also, it was reported that his new girlfriend, Rosalind Ross, is pregnant with the actor's 9th child. On January 20, 2017, the couple had a baby. They named him Lars Gerard. Thus, Mel has the second place in the top of actors with the largest number of kids. Only Charlie Chaplin had more kids than Mel. He had 11. But something tells us that Gibson may beat this record. In the last couple of years, Gibson appeared as an actor in such movies as Dragged Across Concrete, Boss Level, Force of Nature, Dangerous, and Daddy's Home 2.
Why does a duck have feathers?
Why?
To cover up his butt quack.
Hey, kids, I got a good one for you. 2 dead hookers wash up on the shore.
Hey, whoa, shut up.
The most peculiar film he starred in recently is probably The Professor and the Madman, 2018. This movie was in production for 17 years. The filming process was full of scandals and lawsuits, so the production company Voltage Pictures banned the crew from filming in Oxford, England. The reason given was budget overruns and lack of time, and as a result, the filming was moved to Ireland. Enraged, Gibson couldn't let the company cripple his film this way, and he tried to ban the release of the film through the court, but he failed. In revenge, he decided not to participate in the advertising campaign. In 2020, there was a premiere of a comedy action film, Batman, with Mel Gibson in the lead role.
Remember when my bacon went through the vegan sugar-free phase?
Yeah. I was lucky to survive it. Must have lost 12 pounds.
In 2021, Gibson appeared in the action films Agent Game, Dangerous, and Last Looks. And the following year, audiences could see the actor in Father Stu, On the Line, Hot Seat, Panama, and Bandit. After all the lawsuits and alimony, Mel Gibson's net worth is now $425 million. Despite the fact that according to some open source estimates, Mel received a record sum of $450 million for The Passion of the Christ and invested only $30 million of his personal money. According to the most recent accounts, Mel is not sitting idle. Gibson is gonna be the director of Lethal Weapon 5. Besides, he will play the lead role in the Continental miniseries, which is about to be released. The most intriguing is the rumor that the actor is working on the sequel of his epic film about the life and death of Jesus Christ called The Passion of the Christ Resurrection, where Gibson will act as director, screenwriter, and producer. We tried our best to tell you all about the life of this brilliant actor, talented director, and unique person, Mel Gibson. Do you think he'll manage to surprise the world with a new masterpiece as he did with Braveheart and The Passion of the Christ?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, how Terminator lives and how he spends his millions. Arnold Alois Schwarzenegger was born on July 30th, 1947, in the community of Thal, Austria, into a Catholic family of Gustav and Aurelia. It is known that in 1938, his father joined the Nazi army of Germany, which Arnold would be very ashamed of in the future. Although his father didn't have any proven war crimes, during the Second World War, Gustav participated in the siege of Leningrad, where he was seriously wounded. Arnold's parents got married in 1945. At that time, Gustav was 38 years old, and Aurelia was 23 years old. For the girl, this marriage was her second. Her first husband died in the war. In 1946, Gustav and Aurelia had their first child, Meinhard, and a year later, Arnold, who became an outcast in the family. All because Gustav suspected his wife of infidelity and believed that Arnold was not his biological son. Schwarzenegger's childhood cannot be called happy because his duties included getting up at 6 in the morning and doing all the hard work before school. For any mistake, his father, who worked as the local chief of police, severely punished him and even gave him the nickname Cinderella. In addition, the family lived very poorly, but this only motivated Arnold to become successful in the future. Gustav was an athlete and demanded the same from his sons, so Arnold played soccer from a young age and a little later started weightlifting. When the boy turned 14, he went with a friend to Vienna to watch the World Weightlifting Championships. Arnold was among the spectators watching Soviet weightlifter Yuri Vlasov win the world title, becoming the first person to lift 445 pounds over his head. Schwarzenegger was so impressed by what he saw that he decided that day he would devote his life to bodybuilding. Since then, Arnold began to train daily, and on weekends, when the gym was closed, he would break in through the window and work out even harder. His parents were concerned with their son's new hobby. His mother, seeing posters of half-naked muscular men in his room, even suspected Arnold of being gay, and his father was dissatisfied with the nationality of his main idol, Vlasov, and demanded to find a German or Austrian icon. At 17, Arnold participated in his first bodybuilding competition in Graz, where he took second place. At 18, he was drafted into the army for a year. It was impossible to call Schwarzenegger a good soldier. During his service, he managed to drown a tank in a river, destroy a hangar, and even go AWOL just to participate in the Mr. Europe contest. Because of this violation, he was sent to the guardhouse, but after learning that he took first place in that competition, the officers released him and even gave him a 2-day vacation. After his service ended in 1966, Schwarzenegger went to Munich, where he got a job at a fitness club. It is worth noting that back then, Arnold severed ties with his father and brother, who had humiliated him, and in the future, he didn't even attend their funerals. In Munich, the young man didn't have enough money at first, and he had to sleep on the floor in the gym. In addition, matters would get worse because of constant fines for street fights, which he initiated almost every day. In the same year, Arnold went to London for the Mr. Universe contest, where he unexpectedly took second place. The following year, he managed to win the long-awaited title at 20, becoming the youngest winner in the entire history of the competition. At the same time, Schwarzenegger participated in international powerlifting tournaments, where he repeatedly became a champion. The young man always wanted to live in the USA, and in 1968, he realized his dream by moving to California, where he continued his training. At first, Schwarzenegger stayed in the country illegally, and he was able to obtain citizenship only in 1983. In addition, the young man spoke English rather poorly, but it didn't prevent him from reaching for success. Back then, Schwarzenegger already earned his first million a few years before the start of his acting career. Arriving in California, he opened a bricklaying business with a friend. Because of the earthquake in San Fernando, the demand for building materials increased, and with it, the company's profit. The guys invested the money they earned in a new business, mailing out equipment and VHS tapes with instructions for bodybuilding and fitness. In 1969, Arnold met a teacher, Barbara Baker, who became his first love. The young man, of course, was infamous for numerous affairs, but before meeting Barbara, he didn't really love anyone. In the same year, Schwarzenegger participated for the first time in the Mr. Olympia contest, where he took second place. In the next year, he managed to win the competition and at 23, became the youngest champion in the entire history of the competition. This record hasn't been broken so far. At the same time, his acting career began. Arnold's film debut was the lead role in Hercules in New York in 1970, but in the credits, he appeared under the last name Strong, since his real one seemed too difficult.
What's your second name? Hercules what?
As I've told you, I'm Hercules, the son of Zeus.
I don't think it needs any disrespect, Captain. It probably loses in the translation.
All right. Sign him on as Hercules Zeus since he says that's his father's name, and give him an OS rating, bosun.
Aye, sir.
His character's lines were also dubbed over because of his strong Austrian accent. A joke started circulating in Hollywood that only Schwarzenegger's accent is thicker than his muscles. Arnold considers his debut role the most unsuccessful. At the same time, it brought him $12,000. Then there were the roles in the films Happy Anniversary and Goodbye, The Streets of San Francisco, The San Pedro Beach Bums, and Stay Hungry. For the latter, Schwarzenegger was awarded the Golden Globe Award for New Star of the Year. Meanwhile, Arnold had no equal in bodybuilding. For 6 years, he was the permanent holder of the title Mr. Olympia and rightfully became a bodybuilding legend. Having reached all possible heights, Schwarzenegger announced his retirement from sports in 1975. A year before this event, he broke up with his beloved. The reason was Arnold's unwillingness to marry and have children, which the girl wanted so much. After parting with Barbara, he met hairdresser Sue Murray, who shared his views on an open relationship. In 1977, Schwarzenegger, while in a relationship, started dating the journalist Maria Shriver, the niece of the 35th U.S. President John F. Kennedy. This went on for a year, after which Sue insisted that Arnold decide between the girls. He chose Maria, whose relatives, by the way, were not happy about the potential son-in-law. During that period, Schwarzenegger starred in several films: The Villain, Scavenger Hunt, The Jane Mansfield Story, and Conan the Barbarian. The latter can be considered his first successful in his career.
Priest's robe?
Yes, it's all I have.
Good. That's all you'll ever need.
Even though he was nominated for the Golden Raspberry Anti-Award for the Worst Male Role, the actor's payout then amounted to $250,000. Arnold performed all the stunts himself, so he returned to strength training. Having got in good shape, he decided to participate in the Mr. Olympia contest again, which he won. In 1984, the actor appeared in the sequel, Conan the Destroyer, which brought him $1 million. Later, the film Conan the Conqueror was supposed to come out, but Arnold was busy with another project, so the trilogy remained unfinished. In the same year, the action movie The Terminator was released, which became the most recognizable film with Schwarzenegger. His character's phrase, "I'll be back," became the hallmark of the actor.
I'll be back.
And also appeared in 37th place in the list of the 100 best quotes from films. Interestingly, the scene with this phrase took 9 takes to film. For The Terminator, Arnold earned $750,000 and was also nominated for the Saturn Award for Best Actor.
I think this guy's a couple cans short of a six-pack.
You're close. Give them to me, now.
Fuck you, asshole!
In 1985, the rising star was invited to star in the action movie Commando, which was well received by the public and brought Schwarzenegger $1.5 million.
You scared, motherfucker? Well, you should be, because this Green Beret's gonna kick your big ass.
I ate Green Berets for breakfast.
And right now, I'm very hungry.
I can't believe this macho bullshit.
The actor performed all the stunts himself, simply because it was hard to find a stuntman with the same physique. Although the lovemaking scene he did was so unconvincing that they had to cut it. In the same year, the film Red Sonja was released, in which Danish actress Brigitte Nielsen became Arnold's partner on the set. A stormy relationship flared between them, although at that time, Arnold was already engaged to Maria. After the filming was completed, the actor broke up with Nielsen, who didn't want to stay a mistress and threatened to tell his fiancée everything. Then Schwarzenegger introduced Brigitte to his friend Sylvester Stallone, whom she soon married. In 1986, Arnold got married too, with Maria Shriver. He had 4 children: Catherine, Christina, Patrick, and Christopher. A few months after the wedding, the film Raw Deal was released, in which he got the lead role. Schwarzenegger's acting career was gaining momentum, and with it, the payouts were growing. In 1987, he starred in 2 films, Predator and The Running Man, for which he earned $3 million and $5 million respectively. Both films were well received by the public, and for Predator, Arnold was even nominated for Best Actor at the Saturn Film Award. At the same time, he received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In 1988, Schwarzenegger appeared in the film Red Heat. His payout was $8 million. In the same year, With his appearance in the movie Twins with Danny DeVito, the actor proved that he can play comedy roles perfectly.
My name is Julius, and I'm your twin brother.
Oh, obviously. The moment I sat down, I thought I was looking into a mirror.
The movie creator couldn't afford to pay the two actors, so they agreed to a percentage of sales, and it was worth it. The comedy had such a resounding success at the box office that Arnold received his biggest income of $35 million. The actor has repeatedly stated that he considers this film the best in his career. In the early 1990s, Schwarzenegger starred in the films Kindergarten Cop, for which he received $12 million, Total Recall for $10 million, and Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, or later, dickwad. And if someone gets upset, you say, chill out. Or you could do combinations.
Chill out, dickwad.
For the last two films, Arnold was nominated for the Best Actor category at the Saturn Film Awards. By the way, the actor preferred to receive the $15 million for the second part of the Terminator in kind, and asked for a Gulfstream III plane. Then, Schwarzenegger added the following films to his filmography: Dave, Beretta's Island, Last Action Hero, Junior, and True Lies. For the latter three, Arnold received payouts for $15 million each. Those works were awarded various nominations, and most of them Arnold received for the action movie True Lies in the categories Best Actor, Best Kiss, and Best Dance Sequence.
Do you still love your husband?
Yes, I love him. I've always loved him.
In 1996, Arnold appeared in the comedy Jingle All the Way and in the action movie Eraser, where his partner on set was Vanessa Williams, with whom, according to rumors, he had a fleeting affair. For each of the films, the actor earned $20 million. In the next few years, Schwarzenegger starred in the films Batman and Robin, End of Days, and The Sixth Day. Even though the actor earned $72 million in total for these films, his acting was heavily criticized, and for each of these roles, he was nominated for the Golden Raspberry Anti-Award as the worst actor. In the early 2000s, Arnold appeared in the films Collateral Damage, for which he earned $25 million, and Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, for a payout of about $30 million.
EX is designed to terminate other cybernetic organisms.
So, she's an anti-Terminator. Terminator? You've got to be shitting me.
No, I am not shitting you.
After the release of the long-awaited sequel, Schwarzenegger announced his retirement from the film industry and the beginning of his political career. Despite the skepticism, in 2003, he was elected the 38th governor of California with 1.3 million votes. Even though Arnold's wife is a representative of the Democratic Kennedy clan, Schwarzenegger himself is a dedicated Republican. Arnold's political activity caused a contradictory reaction from the public, and the powerful opposition seriously lowered his rating. But in 2006, Schwarzenegger was re-elected for a second term, during which he stood out for his policy of reducing costs, refusing the governor's salary, but all the efforts to save money by laying off civil servants and raising taxes ended with mass protests by trade unions. As a result, the state led by Arnold suffered more than the others from the consequences of the global crisis. During this period, Arnold did not have time to act in movies. In 2004, the pre-film film Around the World in 80 Days was released, for the role in which he was nominated for another Golden Raspberry. By the way, in 2005, Arnold still received a special anti-award, becoming the worst Razzie loser of the first 25 years. Schwarzenegger stepped away from political affairs only for The Expendables in 2010, where he played a cameo role. Even in the fourth part of The Terminator, they had to use a digital image of the actor. In 2011, Arnold's second and last term as governor came to an end, so he returned to the cinema. According to some reports, during his political career, the actor missed the opportunity to earn $200 million in the film industry. Changes have also occurred in his personal life, After 25 years of marriage, Arnold announced that he and his wife were divorcing. Maria loved her husband very much and turned a blind eye to numerous infidelities, but she couldn't forgive one of them. The reason was their governess Mildred, whose son Joseph was surprisingly similar to Schwarzenegger. When Maria figured out that Joseph was Arnold's son, the marriage ended. In 2012, the actor appeared in The Expendables 2, for which he earned $10 million, even though all his scenes were shot in just 5 days.
I need a weapon, something big. Yours!
Whoa, 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 whoa. My big weapon's hanging right where it is.
Come on, Caesar, you gotta back up.
If I don't get this back, your ass is terminated. In your dreams.
In his spare time, Arnold gives motivational lectures around the world. He has written many books on bodybuilding, and in 2012, his autobiography, Total Recall, came out. The following year, Arnold starred in the films The Last Stand with a payout of $5 million and Escape Plan. Then he added several others to his filmography, like Sabotage, Maggie, 2.5 Men, and The Expendables 3. And for the latter, he received another nomination for Golden Raspberry. In 2015, the film Terminator Genesis was released.
Won't be needing any clothes. I've been waiting for you.
It was decided not to hide Arnold Schwarzenegger's age with CGI. Instead, the writers decided to explain that the living tissue that covers the Terminator can age, and the robot's hair can turn gray. During the same period, it became known about Arnold's affair with physiotherapist Heather Milligan, who is 27 years younger than him. In 2017, Arnold appeared in the films Kill Gunther and Aftermath, which turned out to be commercially unsuccessful. In 2019, he starred in the films Terminator, Dark Fate, and V2, Journey to China, for which he again received a nomination for Golden Raspberry.
Go back and exercise, gentlemen. Affect your bodies. Remember, a healthy body houses a healthy mind. Mens sana in corpore sano. Exercise!
Even though Schwarzenegger's acting is constantly being criticized, offers from directors continue to come, and soon, we will see new films with Iron Arnold. In 2021, Schwarzenegger's divorce process, which lasted 10 years, was completed. It took that long because the spouses hadn't signed a prenup at the time, so they had to share their jointly acquired property, and there was a lot of it. Today, Arnold's fortune is estimated at $450 million, which he earned through films, lectures, and advertising contracts. Arnold appeared in advertisements for a Japanese energy drink, BMW iX electric car, World of Tanks, and mobile strike games, Bud Light beer, and others. Schwarzenegger invested money in securities of large companies, including Coca-Cola, Starbucks, and Google. Most of all, the actor liked to invest money in real estate. Nowadays, the value of Arnold's commercial real estate alone exceeds $100 million. But still, the center of his financial empire is the company Oak Productions, through which he receives payouts from film studios and percentages from comic and video game sales. At one time, the Schwarzeneggers owned a restaurant in Santa Monica, but in 1998, the establishment was sold. Also, together with LeBron James, Arnold founded a dietary supplement production company. Before the divorce, the couple lived in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles, where their children grew up. The mansion has an area of about 11,000 square feet. It includes 9 bedrooms, several living rooms, a spacious kitchen, and a dining room. There is also a garden, a patio, a swimming pool with a unique geometric shape, and a tennis court. In 2013, this family nest was sold for $13 million. Now the Hollywood star lives in a 1-story house with a large plot of land on the outskirts of Los Angeles with his favorite pets, Husky Dutch, Yorkshire Terrier Cherry, Donkey Lulu, and Pony Whiskey. Arnold owns a huge collection of cars, which includes Dodge Challenger SRT8, Excalibur Series 3 Phaeton, Hummer H1, Dodge M37, exclusive Jeep Grand Wagoneer Governator, Porsche 911, Mercedes SLS, gallon wagon Chrysler with an electric motor, Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport Vitesse, a Mercedes model specially created for Iron Arnold, and even a real M47 tank, the model he drove in the army. The actor bought it from the Austrian government for $1.4 million. The celebrity spends a significant part of his income on charity. Back in 1995, Schwarzenegger founded an organization that provides an opportunity for children from low-income families to get an education. The foundation also helps fight against HIV, AIDS, and other diseases. For example, in 2020, Arnold allocated $1 million to support medical workers, and in 2021, spent $250,000 to build 25 houses for veterans. In addition, he collaborated with the organization Veloce, which is engaged in the popularization of electric vehicles. Now Iron Arnold is rightfully considered a fan's favorite. A monument was erected in his honor. A programming language and even a Costa Rican ground beetle were named after him. And the Guinness Book of Records calls him the most perfectly developed man in the history of the world. Do you like Arnold Schwarzenegger? If you like the video, leave a like and also subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything interesting.